an exception like here or there, but it is rare. I mean, if you're in one of the major league, major conferences, what they are. There's only 5 of them, 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Right. If you can go, usually only like a game. There's some stat. If you've gone 9-7 in the Big Ten, like hasn't missed the tournament in like whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's only one game over 500.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You lose one that you lost, you're bam, 8-8.
Yeah.
I think this year they started playing 18
Okay.
games. It's always been 16, but anyway, if you can only go 8-8, that's just not good enough because all you're doing, all your 8 wins are twice against Northwestern, twice against Illinois, twice against Penn State. You know what I mean? Twice against Iowa, Minnesota. And chances are you lost all the games to all the good teams in the conference.
Yeah.
Why should you be in the tournament? Why should you be in the tournament just because you're in the Big Ten?
I think the Big Ten's an exception too, because it's every year. I mean, that's what happens in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
everybody beats everybody.
But don't you think
if you're over 500 in the Big Ten, book it.
I know a big deal is made about the underdog factor, and to have a small school in there that's everybody loves the underdog story, Cinderella story. You can't have that with like an Illinois team in there because, like you said, it'd be hard. It'd be harder to pick. I mean, that's a good. That's a.
I mean, imagine
it's not a good team this year, but it's a good program all in all.
Right. Yeah.
So it would make it a little more difficult. But still, wouldn't you think? Because do you think Illinois even makes the tournament this year? Probably not. I mean, not even going to make it.
No,
they're 3-9 in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, okay, then yeah,
they're terrible.
Then they're way.
That's why I couldn't. They beat Minnesota by 24 points on the road last night.
But don't you think?
Like, where the hell was that?
They would be. Don't you think they would be a legitimate underdog?
Yeah.
In the tournament?
Yeah, you give them one chance. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? They'd be as big of an underdog as
Holy Cross.
Holy Cross.
Oral Roberts.
Yeah, but I mean, you still throw
St. Bonaventures.
Still, you throw them up against. You know what I mean?
The Bonnies.
Say like Michigan State's ranked like 10th.
Appalachian State.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michigan State's like 10th. Say they get like a 3 seed, and Illinois, and they have to play Illinois in the first round.
Right.
At like a 14.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll put it on them.
Why? They beat them by 8 points at home. You know what I mean?
Call.
How bad are they going to beat them on a neutral court?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's these power conference teams have good players.
That makes the tournament more intriguing.
Yeah, but
the more likelihood of an upset makes it more intriguing to me. Right now, there's no likelihood of an upset. I mean, little to none. And we can only ring that George Mason chamois for so long.
I know.
The Gonzaga story. It makes for good TV too.
Yeah, but it never happens.
Nope.
It doesn't happen because it's set up to not happen.
Here's my
set
thing.
up for the favorites to win and win big.
Yeah. Well, here's more of my argument is it's not. I mean, I don't know. I think that they have to keep it for just the chance that like every school has that belief at the beginning of the year
make it into the
that they can get into the tournament. You know what I mean? And it's not pros; it's college basketball.
But
I don't think that's a bad thing.
With my way, you still can. You just have to dominate.
Yeah, well, we got to win the we got to win the deal and the tournament.
Then what makes you think you're good enough to play in the tournament if you can't even dominate your little tiny itty bitty conference?
Well, I mean, I get it, and you can dominate it, and what you do is you dominate the regular season, and then you get the number 1 seed in your tournament, which makes it easier to advance through your own tournament. But I mean, it's.
Even though
that's the thing.
They even lose in the end of the season tournaments though. I mean even the favorites lose. I mean a lot of end of season tournaments.
And these conferences, they do it themselves. Like the Big Ten until it was only probably 10, 12 years ago. They didn't have a conference tournament.
Right.
The regular season champion was the automatic hit.
Exactly.
So they could do that if they wanted.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean they could just change it. Be like, we're not having a conference tournament.
Yep.
Guess what? Whoever wins. The regular season goes.
You're in.
And they choose to have the tournament.
Right.
And you know why they choose to have the tournament? For money.
Oh, money.
Because they have an end of the season tournament. They sell all the tickets to it. They get everybody coming from all around.
Absolutely.
I mean, still, everything comes back to money.
Yep.
But,
money and TV.
I just...
But you would still have... I mean, you have this... I mean, so many teams get into the tournament. What is it, 64?
65.
65. Oh, yeah, 65 because of that game.
Yeah, you got to have the
That's
two
what they need
teams.
to do is just have, like, 4 playing games.
Yeah.
All the 16 seeds.
Why not? That would be cool. That would be cool.
That would draw more. That would draw more viewers.
That would have 3 more at large teams.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, you still do all the automatic bids. You make.
I like that.
I do too.
You have like 8 teams.
I like that
play
idea
each
right
other.
there.
You know, on the Tuesday before. And then advance them on, and then let them go get slaughtered by Duke.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's what will happen.
That is.
Because instead, what happens is some of them, you know, they don't have to play another game. They're already just lined up. Only 2 teams have to play each other to get into the play-in game.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Why don't you have 4 playing games?
I like that. I think that's a great idea. But here's another thing to kind of go back. You know, they have this whole, you know, assembly of people that pick the teams, right? You know, that pick the teams that get to come play. So, like, even if you're in a smaller conference, and you go through and you win your conference, you get first, and then you go through your conference tournament and get bounced out in, let's say, the championship game. There's a good chance they're still going to give you because of your entire body of work.
Right.
I mean, there's 65 teams that get in,
but
you know, you're still probably going to get an at-large, even if you don't get that automatic, like I'm saying.
But even there's only.
But in the system now, a team like that might not make it in. You know what I mean? A team that probably deserves to make it in from a smaller conference now doesn't get to because a lesser team from their conference wins in that one game.
Stupid